Hi gang, I want to talk about something a little more serious this time. I have been for quite a while now going around with some weird feelings, if you can say it like that. I just felt that there was something wrong, and like I had this thing where I had all these kinds of video games, and I couldn't get into either of them. Like I would sit down, I would play Dark Souls 2, and I'd be like, this is great. Watch this is not good at all, but I want to complete. No. It's just no. Like I couldn't get into any games really, and so I didn't really give it that much thought. But like I felt restless, and like I just couldn't, enjoy games. And so like okay, that's fine. And I was listening to the Super Best Friends podcast, where they were talking about this exact thing. And they were talking about how if you are having issues with enjoying games, then like everyone goes through that. But if you find it hard to enjoy anything, then it might be a sign that you have a depression. And so I think about it, and I'm like, I'm just sitting there going, well, I haven't actually done anything like for like a week. I haven't played anything, seriously. I haven't watched anything. I haven't read anything. I haven't actually done. I've just sat online and just browsed the web. And so I was like, is that it? Do I have a depression? And so I have some friends who are starting to become doctors, and I just asked them like, hey, hypothetically, what's the deal with depression? And so each of them sent me like 2 tests each, different tests, where you like have to cross out certain things, and if you have a certain amount of these things, like these symptoms, then the bigger the chance you have for having a depression. So I go through this list, and I go for the next one, and I go for the next one, and I just send the answers to them. And they're like, if you have 2 of these, then you have a possible depression. Of all the ones we have gotten, there's only 2 that you didn't have. And they're like, well, shit. And so, as late as today, actually, I finally went to see the doctor. I'm a person who, I hate going to doctors. I have spent way too much of my life with doctors. But, fuck it. Like it's my health. I gotta do it. And I go there, and he too gives me a test, and I take the test, and we talk a little. And this test was a little different. Like on the vertical side of this thing, like you had different symptoms. On the horizontal line, you had how many times throughout the last 2 weeks you have felt any of these emotions. And the thing is that if you have 26 points, it sounds weird that it's points, because like, good for you, you're shitty. But like if you have 26 points, then you have a possible depression. I had 30 points. So today it has been confirmed that I actually have a depression. And it's pretty weird. The reason why I'm making this video is both to kind of let you guys know what's up. Like, I don't know how much this will influence my work, because I have sat down multiple times already trying to write the next review script, and just can't. I can't get into it. And last time I had that was with Girls with Slingshots, if you look all the way back in the back. And so there might be some time before the next one, but it's just so you're warned. But another thing that I want to do is just talk about this, because depression is a serious matter. Before any of you guys go, don't try anything stupid or anything. I'm not suicidal in any way. You can easily be depressed without being suicidal. And another reason why I want to make this is because, like, you always see these things online where these guys write, if you are grumpy as the first thing when you wake up, it's probably cancer. Like, there's all these weird doctor things online, and I just want you guys to hear this from a guy, just a normal guy, that if you feel like there's something wrong, talk with your friends about it. The symptoms I've had was, as I said, I couldn't get into any games. I couldn't get into any, you know, like any real thing besides just sitting around doing nothing while I was not working. And it kind of escalated to the point where I was like, we might as well just get out there. In my younger days, I was bullied a lot, like a shit ton. And like I was in fights, it was shit. And the thing about me is that I have never really dealt with stuff, I think. A typical thing with me is that if something is shitty, you just, oh, that was shitty, and then you smile, and then like you do something to like preoccupy your brain. And I think that kind of caught up with me, because suddenly my brain would be like, hey, remember this? Hey, remember this? Fuck you. And it would start like reminding me of all the shit things that had happened in my life, and it would really become depressing. And the worst part is that if I was awake, I would find things in my daily life that would remind me of this shit. But at least it was under control. If I was asleep, I would dream about it. I know it sounds like, it's a Disney fucking thing, but it's true. I would dream about all these dumb things, and it doesn't feel that great. So that's some warning signs to me. If you think that you have a depression, talk with someone about it. Go out and like just talk with your parents or your friends, whoever you think that you can open up to the most. It can even be a total stranger sometimes. And just, you know, remember that there's always help to get. As soon as I'm done with this video, I'm going to be calling a bunch of different, I don't know the English word for it other than shrinks, and see if I can get a time there and like work my shit out. But if you're going through this, talk with someone. Talk with me, like write it in the comment section or something. Or write me a personal message on Riiser@mail.com. I will happily talk with you. Just remember, there's always help to get. And I wanna try and finish this off, and I wanna finish off by quoting one of the best people who has lived on this planet, Robin Williams, who sadly isn't with us anymore. He said, like, he was a big forerunner for the whole depression thing, and he said a very important thing, that if you have a depression, you should remember, and that is suicide is a what's it called? Suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. You will work your way through this. You won't be depressed forever. So don't do anything drastic. If you feel like you're you're at the end, like I've been there. If you feel like you're at the point where you wanna off yourself, that like do so, like make sure that you do something else. Like if it's at 4 in the morning, like that was kind of way back when I had that. If you feel like at 4 in the morning that fuck it, let's just go, then do something. Like I got up and I played some video games and pissed my mom off to no extent because I was playing video games. Just don't do that. Don't go ahead and do something drastic like that. And like I said, if you want to talk about it, write me a mail and I'll happily talk with you about it. Talk with your mom, talk with your dad, talk with your family, talk with your friends, talk with anyone. And if you feel like you have a depression, go see a doctor. And you might fear that, like, I was talking with one of my friends who lives in America, and she actually told me that if you have a depression and if you get antidepressants, some places won't hire you. Just remember, it's your choice whether or not you want to take antidepressants. So at least go to a doctor if you think that you have a depression to find out what's what. And if you do have a depression, then you can take the step from there and you can work your way around it. Like, you can see a shrink, or you can kind of like see, will taking antidepressants have an effect on my future. Whatever it is, like, just remember that there's always help to get. I'm just a normal guy like all of you, and I know for a fact that I'm going to work my way through it. And I promise you that so will you. So really, that's all for this time. Just wanted you guys to know what's what. And you know, I guess it's also just for me to air it out, because it's a big thing to walk around with. But yeah, really remember, there's always help to get, and if you want to talk about it, talk about it. I'll see you guys in the next videos. Take care.